Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how I color autumn apples, as you see in the thumbnail, and we are working in the book Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko Egusa. So you can color this page with me, it's this one, but I photocopied it and printed it out on my own paper because I wanted to give this coloring page to my grandparents to hang in their kitchen, and I didn't want to cut the page out of the book because I'm not comfortable with doing that, so I printed it on my own paper. So the paper I used is linked in the description box, and this is actually what we're going to work with. As you see, we have a lot of apples, and it is very easy and quick to do in the way I am coloring. So I actually colored the page already, and this is the ending result. So this is how we're going to color the apples. I used water-based markers and alcohol markers to try these out, so I don't know if you can see which apples were with water-based markers and which one is just with alcohol markers. So you can do both. So if you're working in the book, you can work with water-based markers. If you are doing this on another page and it is single-sided, use your alcohol markers instead. Do what makes you happy. So okay, so this is the result we want, and this is the page we're going to start with. Okay, so first of all, as you see in this image, we're working with a lot of warm colors because autumn has a lot of warm colors in it. So if you're choosing colors, take a warm yellow, a warm green and a warm red. It's gonna give you a nicer result than a cold color. Unless your whole page is with cold colors, then you can use it, of course. Okay, so I already chosen my markers to speed up the process a little bit. So I am just using the Décotime twin markers. These are some very cheap ones from the Action store, and you can buy these not on Amazon, but yeah, there are some markers with the same color and names, so you can actually use whatever you have. So this is going to be the 35 lemon yellow. So this is just a warm yellow. And then I have the 14 vermilion. That's just a light warm red. And then I have 162 wheat green, and these are the colors we're going to work with. And then these are the alcohol markers, and then I picked the same colors in my water-based markers. These are the Staedtler Pigment brush pens. This is yellow, so these are very, very good. I like the brush nib, and they are a little bit blendable if the ink is still wet, so that's a plus for me. So as you see, it's quite the same colors. This is red, the color red. Staedtler has now 60 of these markers, and I really love them. And this is May green, the color May green. So it's pretty much the same color. So you can use either alcohol markers or water-based markers, depending on what you like to use, but the result is the same. Okay, so if you don't have the same colors or something, just match up some colors you have. And then I'm going to take my polychromos pencils. So I like to use oil-based pencils for this. You can use any brand you have, but I'm going to work with polychromos pencils. And then I'm going to see which color is close to the colors I have with my alcohol markers. Okay, so the first one is like, I think like a cadmium yellow. Yeah, so this is pretty much the same one. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with cadmium yellow 107. And then for the red one, maybe I'm going to see deep scarlet red. Yeah, it's going to work. That's perfect. So take a pencil that is as close to the marker as it's gonna get. So deep scarlet red 219. And then the green one, maybe this is a little bit too light. No, this is too cold. Okay, so I think I'm going to take this one, the permanent green 266, and then you can take a warm brown. You're going to see why in a minute. Just take a warm brown. I think I'm going to go with burnt sienna 283 from the polychromos. So it's like a warm brownish color. So the reason why I take a brown pencil is 1, for some extra shading, and 2, if you blend 2 opposite colors together, like green and red, you're going to create a brown. So if you cannot blend with your red or green pencil, you can use the brown to blend it a little bit more. So just a warm brown is going to work fine. Okay, so we have our materials. That's actually it. I'm going to do these two in maybe water-based markers and maybe some of those in alcohol markers, I don't know. So the best result you have is to make all the apples as unique as you can. So like here is more red and a little bit of green. Here you have like as much green, red and yellow. Here is just a little bit of red. So try to make them all as different as you can. So a tip to do that is to just, like you have a whole basket of apples, I'm just going to take my reds and I'm just going to scribble some reds into the apple. I'm going to do the same thing with the green and the yellow. So you always have a different apple, and then we're going to blend it together. So those two are my water-based marker apples. So what I'm going to do, so the first is maybe a lot of reds. So I'm just going to color as scribbly as you can a lot of red, and here I'm going to use just a little bit of red, so just to have a different kind of an apple. Okay, then you're going to take the green and we're going to do the same thing. It's easier when the green is not touching the red because it makes a little bit of a brownish color. So what the easiest to blend is actually to put the green into the apple, and just all the rest is going to be yellow. So this is going to be a lot of yellow. I'm just going to scribble some green on this apple, and that's going to be it. With alcohol markers, you have the opportunity to blend, but if you're blending again the green with the red, it's going to give you a very brownish color. And the result was a little bit harder to blend. So this is just putting it next to each other. So this is actually a little bit easier if you're putting the yellow between the red and the green. Okay, so this is actually going to be my base with the water-based markers. Give it some time to dry because this is still a little bit wet, and if you're going on top of it with pencils, it's going to damage the paper. Okay, so we're going to base our other apples with the alcohol marker, and we're going to blend them together. So maybe I'm going to do just one, but the principle is the same. So I just went in with the red for every apple you see on the page, then I go in with the green, and then I'm going to fill everything in with the yellow. So that was actually everything I was doing. So again, your red, so maybe this is going to be a green apple, so we're going to do a little bit of red, a whole lot of green. So I'm going to put it to the red so you can see how you can fix it. As you see, this makes a very dark color, so it's not very easy to blend, but it's still possible. That's why we are taking the brownish color and then the yellow. So as you see, the yellow is very blendable with the green and blendable with the red, but the red and the green is a little bit different. Okay, so this is actually I'm going to do for basing, but just this maps out my colors, and this is going to be the step where I don't use a lot of coloring pencils, and I colored all the apples in less than 1 hour, so this is a very quick process. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is, I think it is dry. The first thing I'm going to do is take my red pencil and I'm going to blend in the reds into the yellow. So this is just a step for blending your red into the yellow. It's still a little bit wet, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to do it with the alcohol markers instead. So this is still a little bit wet. Okay, so I'm just going to blend in the red with the yellow. And this is just a soft pressure. I don't need color, I just want a smooth blend. That's it. So you can go a little bit further and you can play with this as much as you can. So this is just a very light pressure. So the red into the yellow is very easy, but going with the red into the green, it's a little bit harder. That's why I have the brownish color to fix this. Okay, then we're going to take the green color and we're going to blend the green into the yellow. As you see, this goes very easy. But then blending in the green into the red is a lot harder. So if you have the opportunity, try to make sure that the yellow is going to be in the middle. If you're working with just pencils, it is much easier to blend because you are doing a lot of layers, but when you're basing with markers, you have a very vivid base you have to work with. Okay. I go over the green a little bit more because I had some little stains. It really doesn't matter, but I'm a perfectionist, so okay. So then I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to try to blend this two colors a little bit more together. Perfect. And over here you have the overlapping of the green and the red. So you have to take your brown color and that's going to give you that smoother blend you're looking for. So in autumn there is always a little bit of brown into your apples, so it really doesn't matter. But I tried to avoid putting your green next to your reds. It just takes a little bit longer. It's still possible, but it takes a little bit longer to blend. Okay, so I'm just going to go over with the green again, just to blend it a little bit more. Okay, and what I like to do is I take my yellow pencil and I go over everything. So because you have like a base, it's still going to pick up some yellow pigment. So that's going to give you a very nice result for the apple. So it isn't all just one color of green. Again, with the reds, the same thing. You can add some yellow in it as well. Like this. And then I'm going to take the brown color again. And I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow, because a round object is a little bit darker toward the edges. Not a lot, just a little bit. This is a big apple, so the blending takes you a little bit more extra effort than when you're coloring a little apple. Like this. And then you see the stripes here. I'm going just go over it with the brownish color. So it gives you a little bit more of a color. And then again, this little thingy on the apple is going to be brown as well. Like this. And if you think, yeah, okay, I need a little bit more of a red, you can always put some extra red on top of the marker, because you have a very light pressure. So this is just a personal preference. Do whatever you feel like this. Like you need a little bit more red over here. Like this. So this is actually my first apple. So this was actually the most hardest one. So these are a little bit easier because we have the yellow in between. So I'm going to try this again. So I'm going to put my red color for blending into the yellow. And you can put as many layers until you're happy with your blending. And then we're going to take the green. And you're going into the red right now, but it doesn't matter because it is the pencil work and not the marker itself. So it's not going to give you that brown stain you have to work with. Like this. I'm going to put a little bit of green over here. Just for some extra color. Okay. Now we're going to take our yellow. I'm going to blend this in together. And a little bit on the red to give it a yellow glow. Like this. Now we're going to take the brown and again a little bit on the edge. And this apple is overlapping the other one, so this is my shadow area. So some browns in here as well. and then the striping like this. Okay, I'm going to do this one as well. So if you see it as an individual apple, it's like, oh, the blending isn't perfect and I can do it better. But if you see the whole picture, it's actually perfect. So don't see it as one object, see it as a whole. Now it is standing out because all the rest isn't colored yet, but if you're coloring the whole picture, you're not going to see it anymore that your blend isn't perfect or something. Okay, now we're going to take the red color. Like this, and then the yellow. If you do this with an oil-based pencil, I think the coverage is going to be better. But I like my polychromos on top of my water-based markers. It's a preference. Okay, and then again a little bit on the edge of the apple. And the striping, we're going to do it as well in brown. So if you want a green apple, you can do it with 2 or 3 shades of green. If you want a red apple, same thing. The principle is exactly the same. Okay, so these are 3 apples. So this one is done with alcohol markers, this one is done with water-based markers. And when the page is done, you will get this result. So very easy. Okay, if you have some other elements you want me to show you of this picture, how I colored them, please let me know in the comment section. Everything I used in this video will be linked in the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!